Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anne, and in today's video I'll be showing you guys how to crochet this beautiful sweater. I'll be making a small here, but sizes X small to 3X large are included in this tutorial and also in the written pattern that I have linked down below. But here are all of the supplies that you're going to be needing. So getting started on this pattern, over here I have my brown yarn or the color Café Latte, and I also have my 4.5mm hook. So to get started on the sleeves, I'm first just going to make a slip knot, and you can do this any way you would like. And now from here we're going to make a chain of 12. To make a chain, you just want to yarn over and pull through. Doing this again, just yarn over and pull through until you have 12 chains in total. And once you have finished up your chain of 12, we are going to replace our 4.5mm hook with our 5.5mm hook. So I'm just going to insert my 5.5. Just like this. And now from here we're going to continue on to make 53 more chains. So this is going to be 12 and then plus 53. Okay, then I'll just keep on going until I have reached 53. So I have now made it back here with my chain of 53. And now beginning on row 1, we are going to skip this first chain, and inserting our hook into the second chain, we'll work a half double crochet slip stitch. To do that, I'm just going to yarn over, insert my hook into that second chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then just continue to pull through those 2 loops. Doing this again, you just want to yarn over, insert your hook into that next chain, pull through, and then just continue to pull through those 2 loops. And then just keep on working these half double crochet slip stitches until you have 12 chains at the end remaining. So I'm going to work this up, and then I'll see you guys back once I have 12 chains remaining. And so I have these last 12 chains at the end of my row remaining. We're going to once again switch out our 5.5mm hook for our 4.5mm hook. And into these last 12 chains, we will actually be working 12 slip stitches. So to work a slip stitch, all you want to do is just insert your hook, and then just yarn over and pull through both of those loops. Doing this again, you just want to insert your hook and then pull through both of those loops. Then now just keep on doing this all the way down your row. And then once you have reached the end of row 1, we are just going to chain 1 and turn our work. And that chain 1 does not count as a stitch for the rest of the pattern. So beginning on row 2, we will work 12 back bar slip stitches. To work a back bar slip stitch, we are just going to insert our hook only into this back bar, so not both of these loops, just into this back bar, and then yarn over, pull through. Again, just insert your hook only to this back bar and pull through. You just want to do this 12 times in total. When you finish these 12 back bar slip stitches, we're just going to replace with our 5.5mm hook. And now for the end of the row, until the end of the row, we will now do back bar half double crochet slip stitches. To do that, I'm just going to yarn over, and same thing, we are going to insert our hook only into that back bar or back loop, yarn over and pull straight through those 3 loops. Again, just yarn over, insert your hook into that back loop, and then just pull straight through. And then I'll just keep on doing this all the way down my row, and then I'll see you guys back to continue. And so I just made it to the end of row 2. We're just going to chain 1 and turn our work as usual. And now moving on to row 3, beginning into this first stitch, we will work those back bar half double crochet slip stitches. And you want to do that until you have 12 stitches at the end remaining. So I'll quickly work that up and then I'll see you guys back. And once you have those 12 stitches at the end of your row, we're just going to switch to our 4.5mm hook. And now we're just going to work those back bar slip stitches all the way across. So to continue this pattern for our body portion, all you want to do here is just repeat alternating row 2 and row 3 until you have 26 rows in total. I'm just going to go off camera and finish up my sleeve until I have 26 rows in total, and then I'm going to see you guys back to continue. So this is what your front panel should be looking like after you have completed working 26 rows, alternating row 2 and row 3. Once I reached the end, I did go ahead and fasten off, as you guys can see. And once you have one panel all done, you do want to repeat this process a second time, and it is the same thing in the same color. And in addition, you also want to repeat this 2 more times in the color beige, which I have already done. And you should now have 4 panels in total. And now that we have our 4 body sections, we're now going to go ahead and move on to working the sleeves, which are kind of the same exact thing, it's just going to be a little bit different. But let's just go ahead and move on with that section of the video. So now we're going to be moving on to working the sleeves. And as I previously stated, this is basically going to be the same thing as our body, except we're going to do a different amount of rows and we're going to do a different amount of chains. So to get started, I have my 4.5mm hook, and I'll go ahead and make a slip knot. From here, we're going to do a chain of 12. And then once you finish up that chain of 12, we're going to grab our 5.5mm hook, And now we're going to do a chain of 55. And so after you've finished making your chain, beginning into the second chain, we'll work those half double crochet slip stitches in each chain across until we have 12 chains at the end remaining. So I'll see you guys back once I'm all done. And when you have these 12 chains at the end, we're just going to switch our hook to our 4.5mm hook. And we're just going to do slip stitches into those 12 chains. And at the end, you can just chain one and turn. Beginning on row 2, into this first stitch, we'll work 12 back bar slip stitches. And then we'll just change out our hook for the 5.5mm hook. And into each stitch all the way down our row, we'll do back bar half double crochet slip stitches. And as usual, once you reach the end, you can just chain and turn your work. And then doing our last row, which is row 3, beginning into this first stitch, we will work back bar half double slip stitches until we have 12 stitches at the end remaining. And into those last 12 stitches, we are of course just going to work our 4.5mm hook into these 12 slip stitches, or back bar slip stitches I mean. And then you can just chain and turn. Now to continue this pattern for our sleeve, you just want to repeat alternating row 2 and row 3 until you have 40 rows in total. So it's going to be a bit longer than the last time we worked our body portion. I'm just going to go off camera, work up my 40 rows, then I'll see you guys back once I am all done. 40 rows later, this is what my sleeve looks like so far. And once I reach the end, I of course cut and fastened off. Once you have made one sleeve in our brown color, you also just want to do the same thing but with our second color. And we only need to do this twice, not 4 times. So now that we have our sleeves, we're now just going to set these 2 pieces aside and we're going to get started on the assembly process. So let's go ahead and move on with those steps. So now we're going to be moving on to the assembly process. Over here I have 2 of my front panels in different colors. And what we're going to do is that we are going to whip stitch starting into this very bottom corner all the way up our 2 panels until we have 7.5 inches from the top. So if I just grab my ruler, I'm just going to go until I have 7.5 inches from the top remaining. And to show you how to whip stitch, I have my large tapestry needle. And with our needle, we're just going to insert it into the back loop of the first panel and into the back loop of the second panel. And then just pull straight through. Doing this again, I'm going to insert my hook into the back loop of the first panel and then the back loop of the second panel. And pull it straight through. Again, we're just going to insert our hook into these 2 loops and then pull straight through. And then as I mentioned, do this until you have 7.5 inches remaining. So I have just finished seaming up my 2 front panels. This is where we left that space. I did that on the other side as well, so we now have 2 panels seamed together. And now that we have both of our panels, the next thing that we're going to do is beginning into this very bottom corner, we are going to whip stitch all the way up the sides until you have 6.5 inches from the top remaining, and that is going to leave a space for our sleeves. Of course, you want to do that on both sides. Then the next thing that we're going to do is beginning into the very top corners, we will whip stitch across our 2 shoulder straps until the end of our work. Since I have already showed you guys how to whip stitch, I'm just going to work that off camera, and then I'm going to see you guys back once my bodice is all seamed up. So I have made it back here with all of my work seamed up. I did both of the sides until I had 6.5 inches from the top remaining. And then after that, I just seamed together my 2 sleeves on the armhole. I also seamed the sleeve together as well. And then down the body, which I showed. Then I whip stitched all the way up here, leaving a space for our neck hole. That is basically the end of the tutorial. All you would need to do is just weave in all of your loose ends to finish. But that's the end of the tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful, and I hope to see you guys back next time. Bye! If you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. If you bought this pattern, it would be super helpful if you left a positive review. But that's all guys, bye!